Hello and welcome, you lovely lagerites. I know that we said we weren't going to make it a thing.
No, not the lagerites.
Fine, you got to think of a better one, Dan.
Okay, next week I'm coming in with a better one.
Okay, fine.
Next week.
Yeah, next week come up with a better one.
We'll just switch it up every episode.
Alright, fine. Lagalitas.
I like that. See, that's got more of a ring to it. Lagalitas.
Maybe that's our thing. That's our thing.
What about the lageroids?
The You're such a nut. The lageroid. No, we're not. I don't know. Lagalitas. I like that.
I like that. We'll nail it at some point.
Yeah.
But I think that has legs.
We're getting somewhere. Anyways, people, welcome to episode 13 of the Lager Than Life podcast. As usual, you're with your two favourite hosts. I'm Sarav.
I'm Rory.
And, bro, listen, it's been a long week already.
It's fucking Tuesday.
Yeah.
We both had,
honestly,
long days.
It's been horrible. So, with that in mind, I would say I'm quite parched, man.
I'm parched, boy.
I'm quite thirsty. So,
let's get into it. So, today, Sarah,
for
our beer of the week, we've got a craft Siren brew called Broken Dream. Kind of describes the week I'm having, really.
Facts.
Love it. Okay, so for our audio listeners, fuck me, I didn't even know how to describe that. It's like a woman with long, sweeping hair. It's kind of gold. It's black.
It's very cool.
It's cool. It's a cool design.
Cool.
But yeah, let's crack this open.
Okay, cool. Oh my god.
What percent is it actually? 6.5%.
Sorry.
We've got two of these to get through, Sarah. Okay, I'm going to be so pissed for the end of this. Woo! And guess what? I've not had lunch.
Bro.
Right, let's crack this open. Right.
Have you got anything to tell us about this one before we dive in?
Oh, yeah. God, I almost forgot, didn't I? So, the description for the Broken Dream is an indulgence of chocolate and specialty malts. Broken Dream is a smooth, that's not a word, unctuous? Unctuous? Fuck, okay, this is a smooth, unctuous and moreish. It's brewed with milk sugar for balance and mouthfeel, along with carefully selected espresso from London's Climpson & Sons, awarded the Camera Supreme Champion Beer of Britain in 2018.
I'm really nervous.
I'm nervous. This sounds weird. Espresso.
Indulgence of coffee and chocolate. Breakfast stout. The fuck?
You bought us a fucking stout?
Oh no.
Oh, fuck me.
I don't know. It just looked like...
I'm not gonna lie. If it's like Guinness, I like as a stout. Other than that, I do not touch them.
It looks like it's an IPA. Do you not think?
No, I agreed. It's got the sort of wavy design. It's got the sort of small can. Yeah, no, I'm with you. All we got to do is just try it, really.
Got to crack into
Cheers,
it.
mate, to episode 13.
Episode 13.
That's foul. Oh no, see, the aftertaste is even worse. That's bad.
Whoops.
That is bad.
Oh, the aftertaste is coffee.
I think it gets worse.
Yeah, it does. It hits your mouth. It's not too bad.
It tastes like it doesn't want to be in my mouth. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Should we send it, man, before we give a rating?
Send it.
It's been a long week already. Should we just take a fat gulp?
Fat gulp. Okay, big gulp. Let's go.
Not downing it.
Oh yeah, that gulp doesn't make it any better.
No. Okay.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go in for a. Do you know what the espresso taste? I appreciate the boldness and that they're trying to do something different with this genre of beer. But I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. My lowest rating yet on Lager Than Life.
A 2.
A 2.
Do you think it's worse than the raspberry beer?
Yeah, the raspberry one, I think, in hindsight, grew on me, and I think there's a time and a place for that. There's not a time and a place I'd ever drink something like that.
Yeah, it's horrible. I'm gonna give it a 3.
A 3.
Yeah,
it's a 2.5. It's a 2.5. 2.5 for Broken Dream.
Yeah, don't try it at home.
Do you know what? Broken Dream tastes exactly how it sounds. Fucking broken.
Oh, you know what? It's a fitting beer for a fitting day. But we're not going to let that stop us. We're coming with the energy today.
Let's go.
So, yeah, bro.
Sorry, mate, what have you been up to?
You know what, mate? Before I get into it, I just wanted to point out a couple of things, if you don't mind. Firstly, we're back in the studio.
We're back.
It's great to be here.
We had a brief hiatus.
Yeah, brief hiatus. So it's great to be here. We are missing our plant.
Yeah, the fucking plant's gone.
I did like our plant.
Someone's nicked it and run off with it.
I don't know who steals a plant.
I always think it's good to have a bit of greenery in the frame, but I guess now you're just stuck with blue.
Potash blue. We'll see if we can get the plant back. No promises. It probably won't be next episode, but maybe episode after. We'll see if we can get the.
We'll have the plant back for episode 50.
Yeah,
Don't worry, guys.
absolutely.
For all you visual listeners, for all 12 of you.
Yeah, trust. I missed the
worry.
plant. It gave a nice vibe to the room for sure. But bro,
Also, one more thing. Sorry,
go ahead.
Forgot to do it last week. I want to give a special shout out to
course.
my boys in South Africa, Cedric and Josh. Otherwise known as Three Face and C, the rap duo in South Africa.
Shout out,
based in Cape Town. They gave us the music for our intro.
Yes, you probably noticed we had a new intro and outro with some banging tune, and you're probably thinking, "What? Held that up to your Shazam, Alexa? What song is this?"
It's Light High by Three Face and C. I don't think it's on Spotify yet, but you can find it on SoundCloud. So, but yeah, check all their music out. They're fucking sick. They've got another song coming out next week called Scrolling with a music video. They've been using like the volume stage, like green screen, but except you can actually see it. And yeah, they showed me a sneak preview when I was over in South Africa, and it is a banger. So
really?
and they actually produced it with D Mile, who is the guy who produced Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. They did like a joint album together.
Okay,
So he basically produced this track, and it's a banger. So yeah, guys, go check them out. But yeah, thanks again, Josh and Cedric. We love you.
Great shout. Thank you, boys, for the intro. We love it. And also, we can't wait to get you guys on the pod. We're definitely going to get them on here soon.
It's going to be a big app.
Yeah.
We'll do a double bill then.
Yeah. Because I'm going to try out my South African accent for them to verify when they come on.
Brew.
Would you like your coffee black or white?
It's not bad. That's not bad.
Thank you, bro.
It's a bit of work, but it's not bad.
We'll get there. But anyway, diving into my week, bro, it's been obviously a stressful week with work. But I did do something really cool on the weekend. So I know I mentioned it to you, but I went to go see the Lehman Trilogy. It's a play.
Yeah.
So
it's about the Lehman Brothers.
It is about the Lehman Brothers. So it's a play I went to see in London and West End. I forgot the name of the theatre. Two names like Gillian something.
One of them.
Yeah. I know it was School of Rock used to be there beforehand, but went to go see it. It's only in the theatre for a limited time, but it is honestly incredible. It was so fucking good. So good to the point that I stood up at the end, which I don't always. I do
standing ovation.
It wasn't fully a full standing ovation.
Was it just you?
It wasn't just me. There were quite a few of us. I was the first to stand up.
I rate that. That's bold.
The thing is,
it'd be awkward though if you stood up and no one else stood up.
It wouldn't. You know what? I'll tell you why. It would be awkward, but here's the thing. The acting was genuinely incredible. So I think for those who didn't stand up, I genuinely think that you just didn't appreciate what you're supposed to be standing up for. I was standing up for the performance.
Wow.
The actors were unbelievable.
Were there any recognisable names which you'd know from TV or film or anything?
I mean, I don't think so.
Okay.
I might be wrong. So I don't know. But I'll just give you a bit of a background as to what it's about. And I'm not ruining anything because this is just, if you Google it, you'll find out exactly who the Lehman Brothers are. But basically, it's about the Lehman Brothers themselves, and it's about the original ones. So there's three brothers, I believe. I just saw
hope so. There was a trilogy.
There was a bit of drama about me going to see it, but anyway. The three brothers, and basically they moved over from Germany to, I believe it was Germany. I missed the beginning. It's a long story.
I think it's about the Lehman Brothers. I don't know.
It's a long story. I missed the beginning.
They might have been German. They might have been Austrian.
Yeah, but they moved over to, anyway, it's about the three Lehman Brothers, and they move over to the USA in the late 1800s. And they just want to make a life for themselves, right? American dream, as it were. But they just want to make a life for themselves. So they start selling fabrics and suits. You would have thought they just started as a bank. No, they started selling fabrics and suits. Eventually, they moved on to start selling cotton. But the way in which they realised that they could only fit so much cotton in their factory. So what they started to do is cotton broking. They would buy it from the plantations and they would sell it to those people who can then turn it into fabric.
So they'd be like a middleman.
Exactly. They were the original middlemen. Middlemen. So that's exactly what happened. They would then basically broke it. They would get it straight from the plantations and take it straight over to those who made the cotton into fabric.
Okay, interesting.
Then I believe there was a bit of a crash or something in the economy where they basically lost everything, and what they then got into was essentially they decided to start investing money. So I think they originally convinced the governor of Alabama to basically give them a bunch of money for them to invest in something. They then started investing in they then invested in like a rail track. So realized that was going to be the future. And it's basically, from there it spirals on into becoming one of the biggest banks in the world. And the biggest investment banks in the world. It shows you their kids, their grandkids, and how the bank ran through generations. It shows you how smart they were to have just been so ingenious to come up with the amount of ideas that they did. And, essentially it shows them starting to lose control, shows a couple of financial crashes, and it takes you right up to the 2008 financial crash. And it just ends by them telling you that the bank just goes under, but they don't really talk about it. They talk about the recovery. I quite
like that, because when you said the Lehman Trilogy, I just presumed, it's a play about the financial crisis, because that's what we know them for,
exactly.
Right? But that's really interesting. That's the history of it.
Absolutely. Okay. So it's really, really amazing. It was a long play. There's 3 acts.
How many hours?
I was in the theatre for 3.5 hours. But I think in terms of actual watch time, it's like 2 hours 10 minutes, 2 hours 50 minutes to 3 hours.
That's pretty standard for plays, I guess.
It's a bit long. It is a bit long. I'm not gonna lie. And there's so much information thrown at you. Right. But the set design was ingenious. The writing was ingenious. Like the repetitions they did for certain bits, the jokes they made, that kind of stuff was brilliant. And the acting, honestly, was just incredible, because there's 3 actors only.
In the whole play?
3 actors in the whole play, and that's it. So they all switch between different characters.
Oh, shit.
Just assume different roles, different positions, and you're bought into it. Their body language and the way they portrayed the character allows a clear split between the character they were and the character they became. Absolutely excellent. Really recommend going to see it.
I'm going to check that out. I've got a bit of a weird relationship with plays and stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. I find every time I've been to the theatre, I went to watch To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
And because my mum really wanted to go, so I got her 2 tickets for Christmas. My dad couldn't be asked to go, so I went along.
Nice
and I don't know. I just I think because I'm such a film guy, I love films, I love TV. I find that such a more of an immersive experience than when I go to a play and you're watching it. I'm always just thinking in the back of my mind, that is a person acting. Do you know what I mean? And even with plays, the way they're acting is like they act sort of in front of the audience, so it's not natural. It's not like I would look at you and talk to you. They're always like, their body language is open so that they're sort of projecting out to the audience. I don't know, and I've always just found out every time. First of all, they're long as fuck, right? They go on for so long, right? And even with the intermission, it's like, as you said, like 3.5 hours. And then you've got this thing where, the actors are really into it, right? And don't get me wrong, there are some theatre actors who are so talented and so good at the job, and most, big movie stars, originate from theatre. But I always just find when you're watching it, they just seem to be having so much more fun than you are. Do you know what I mean? They're more into it than you are, if that makes sense. And maybe I've just been unlucky with the sort of theatre I've seen, but every time I've been, I've always just been a little bit, it's just, there's something about it that doesn't quite grab me as much. But yeah, and also the other thing, it's like £70 to go see like a normal theatre production. It's so expensive. And then you can go and watch a film, right, which has had tens of millions of dollars pumped into it, which gives you overall way more realistic and immersive experience. I've never got the appeal of theatre.
I think, Rory, that
I'm just an uncultured swine.
Yeah, no, not uncultured, but I think you're really not giving plays their due. So let's start off with the first thing. The West End is considered one of the best places to go to see plays and musicals behind Broadway. It's like global and well known.
Yeah.
So you're not just paying to go see the play, you're also paying for what it is, and that's to go sit in one of London's theatres, where it's a very traditional thing, right? Also, plays are live. Acting in films and TV shows there's multiple takes often. Plays are live. They have to do so much to captivate you in the moments that you're in there and engage the audience that I don't necessarily think TV and film actors need to do immediately. because they can retake scenes.
Don't get me wrong. That is, you take that into account, and that's why I'm not dismissing the skill of theatre actors. Like, it takes so much skill, and it's a lot more of it's like natural and on. You know, you're seeing it live, right? But ultimately, what are you getting a better performance out of?
I think
the performance is there to serve the story, right? And if you do 10 takes and then you choose the best take of that, it doesn't give, like, when you're watching it, you're just immersed in the story. You're not really conscious of like, oh, they must have done 10 takes in this. Do you know what I mean? So I always just find like,
okay, I think
never quite.
They're just completely different, man. They're completely different experiences. I mean,
Do you not just think a play is just a less, what's the word, less developed version of a film?
No,
They're both telling a story.
Yeah,
both within around 2 hours, 3 hours. But a film that does it way better.
Films involve so much technology, whereas theatres don't. And I think that's something that's really, really cool. And there's something to be said behind the raw kind of experience of a theatre. When you go into a theatre, you're able to be transformed and transported into a completely different area, time period, different scene, which is incredible because it's just done by a few things on stage. The sounds, the visuals, that transports you. And so there's something so authentic about it, right? Films, there's so much technology there.
Which makes the story better.
I don't think that makes
more
it
immersive.
more, that doesn't make it more authentic.
So
Authenticity is one big thing that theatre has. And also, I just think maybe you've been unlucky. Theatre is unbelievable. And have you been to see any musicals?
What musicals have I been to see? I saw The Book of Mormon.
Okay, fine.
Did not enjoy it whatsoever.
What?
I thought The Book of Mormon was like, I saw it maybe 5 years ago, and I just thought it was the most. And I like South Park. It's the writers of South Park who did it, and I just found it fucking exhausting. And all the songs. That's the other thing. I don't like musicals. I find musicals so annoying. The only musical I was, if someone offered me tickets, I would go see is Hamilton.
Okay.
Because Hamilton, at least they're doing something different with the music. It's like more hip hop infused, right? But like musicals, all the songs sound the fucking same. It's like you're literally watching a play, right? And you're along with the story, and it's like the story fucking stops out of nowhere. They sing a song about how they feel, and then the story continues again. Even when I was younger, right, and watching Disney films, I'd get so annoyed when they fucking started singing. I was like 5 at this time, and I was like, dude, you're pausing the fucking story just to sing a bit, and it's like, I'm not interested. Hakuna Matata does slap though.
Yeah. So what do you think you value in a watching experience then? Because
I think complete immersion into it.
Complete immersion
and being gripped by the story, right?
Okay.
Whereas I feel like theatre is more driven by like, oh, look how good this guy, look how much fun this guy's having in his performance, you know? Whereas I feel like when you're watching a film or a TV show, you're like in it, right? There's nothing else. Whereas like when you're at a theatre, they're just there are in the back of your mind they're acting on stage. You're not fully. And listen, Sarah, maybe I've just been lucky with that. And do you know what? How much are tickets for the Lehman Trilogy?
You can get them for like £25.
Okay, if it was 25 quid, I'd go.
Okay,
I'm gonna do it.
You'll like it because it's not a musical.
Yeah, that does help. To be fair,
it's a story.
I do think I've been unlucky because I feel like I'm the weird one. Because I think most people would probably be more agree with Sarav here. But
no, not necessarily. It's clearly something that you're just not that into. For me, I really like musicals, so I've been really quite like, I don't know how to describe it, but my emotions have been brought to that I don't know, the surface of my skin, I guess is the way to describe it. Like I've got goosebumps and shit. But I appreciate the raw talent that I get to see. When I go to see musicals, I love the fact that there's a live band there. And you get to hear.
To be fair, yeah.
I get so gassed when I hear like musicians do really, really cool and technical shit when they're like under the stage, right? The singers as well, the power in their voice is like just so underappreciated. You've got all these recording stars and stuff like that. They don't sound like those who are performing in theatre. Theatre singers give flawless performances every single night. And I can't say the same for pop artists and rock artists.
No.
Who
speaking of performances, did you hear about Frank Ocean?
I did hear about Frank Ocean.
This is fucking wild, right? So Frank Ocean was headlining Coachella this year, which happened just last weekend, and he was headlining the Sunday, which is like the big final act, right, of the first weekend. And people originally thought, oh, Frank Ocean's headlining, he's coming out with a new album.
That's what I thought.
So Blonde came out in 2016, so it's been what? It's coming up to 7 years now. It'll be 7 years in August since Blonde came out, and we've had a few singles and no album. 7 years, right? So people were really, really excited, right? And Frank has gone out and he did this performance, and people are super divided on it. Like even the biggest Frank Ocean stans are saying that this is awful and this is a complete slap in the face to fans. So to sum it up, he arrived an hour late to the set. Apparently he was lip syncing loads of songs.
Oh no!
Right? Apparently it was just like they had loads of random dancers around him, just sort of like aimlessly floating around. There was no choreography. Apparently at one point a security guard just went out onto stage and started twerking. And apparently the whole set was an absolute fucking disaster. So apparently I was looking into this, and apparently, so originally it was supposed to be live streamed, and apparently last minute Frank Ocean said to Coachella, I don't want it to be live streamed. Like literally on the Sunday he said this. So they cancelled the live stream. And then I did a little bit more digging, and apparently originally he was supposed to have an ice rink on the stage, right? And they'd made this whole ice rink. They'd probably spent a week fucking constructing this thing, right? They hired all these ice skaters, and apparently on the morning of the morning he was like on the Sunday, literally 6 hours before he was supposed to perform, he says, "Oh, I don't want to do the ice rink anymore." Scraps it.
He's a bit of a diva, isn't he?
Completely scrapped it, right? So then what resulted was this absolutely horrendous performance, right? And people are pissed off. Imagine, right? You're a massive Frank Ocean fan, and you are, you save up all year, right? To go and see Frank Ocean, right? And then suddenly you see him, and he pulls out a performance like that.
Yeah.
Do you mean people save up months and months of their wages to go and see their favorite artist?
Yeah.
And you know what? Frank Ocean he's got a very low-key profile, right? He's not on social media. He's very elusive. You don't really know what he's doing, right?
No.
And I think if you're not going to connect with your fans via social media, and evidently not through a new album or music, right? When you do a live show, you have a duty to your fans to actually pull your fucking finger out and give the performance of your life. Because it's been 6 years, 7 years, right? And then you're just going to turn up an hour late. You're going to lip sync. Nah, fuck you. That's absolute bullshit. And you know what pisses me off? The reason I'm just getting so heated about this, because the same thing happened to me in 2017. Went to Parklife in Manchester.
Yeah.
Frank Ocean was playing, and I was obsessed with Frank Ocean at this point. Like one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
And he arrived 40 minutes late.
Yeah.
He came out. He came on. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't lip syncing. His singing was incredible, but there was long 3-4 minute silences in between each song. At one point, he did this. He started singing the song Chanel. Right, halfway through, he says, "Oh no, stop it! I want to do it again." He redoes it again. It was like he didn't rehearse it whatsoever. And it's like, if you're not going to release an album or any new music, you need to pull your finger out and actually give a good performance, because it's not fair to all the people who have gone to Coachella just to see Frank Ocean and who have spent all their hard-working money to see him.
Okay,
What do you think, Sarav?
Where you're coming from. To say they have a duty to perform for their fans, probably would agree with you.
Yeah.
I would agree, not necessarily that they need to perform, but put on a show or a performance, if you see what I'm saying. Because I swear, none comes to mind right now. Oh, Drake, for example. Drake performs, and then he puts on a show when he does live shows. Like, he puts so much money in investment. You are right. I think when people pay money, it's only fair that you do a good show. Would he have done that if it was his own show or concert that he was headlining, rather than Coachella?
But that's the thing. He doesn't do his own shows.
Yeah.
He only performs at festivals.
Yeah, probably for the bag, man. Probably just for the bag.
But I think if you're being paid that much, it's not just a slap in the face to fans, it's a slap in the face to Coachella. To just be like last minute, oh no, I don't want to do the ice rink anymore. I just completely derail the performance. And that's like the final act on the Sunday. I just think it's rude, dude.
It's one of those, but are people ever going to... No one's going to not become a fan of Frank Ocean anymore, because if he released a new album and it slapped, I'm going to Love it.
Oh yeah,
That'll
I'll
be-
listen to it. I'll be the first. I'll be the first person to listen to
That's
a new
what I'm
Frank
saying.
Ocean when it drops. And I'm not saying like I'm not a fan of his anymore. I love his music, but like
He's just a diva. and a dick.
I'm more talking about like there is a niche of Frank Ocean stans who are obsessed with this guy. They buy his merch, right? Speaking of merch, did you know Frank Ocean came out with a Frank Ocean branded cock ring? It was 18 karat gold encrusted,
That's
right?
crazy.
Guess how much this thing cost?
Like $20K.
$25,000.
That's a good guess.
Right? And like that was a really bloody good guess, Jesus. And like, do you know what I mean? This is the sort of shit like he's been pumping out like merch and stuff to like
Yeah.
because people buy it. People love Frank Ocean. They love his music. But I think when it's been 7 years, you've not done an album. All you've done is release a few singles, and then when you come back and you give it not only listen if he came back and he actually wasn't releasing an album, but he still performed at Coachella and he performed his hits, right? And he put his heart and soul into that set.
Yeah.
After so many years of being quiet, that's perfectly fine.
Trust me, I'd
That's
be
perfectly
gassed.
fine. That would have been great. Like people would have loved that because that's how great his music is.
If
They
he
don't
played
need-
Channel
they
Orange.
don't need- yeah, I don't know. You might have done, but
If,
like,
no, but if he did,
if
that
he
would,
did,
and
yeah,
he
great.
performed it, I'd be
people
gassed.
love that. But like, I think and do you know what? I just want to preface this by Frank Ocean. Maybe 1 or 2 years ago, his brother died in a car crash, right? So maybe he's got shit going on, and if that's the case, that's obviously really awful. But ultimately, if you're in that headspace and you can't perform, and you're not going to give the best performance to your fans and to Coachella, then don't agree and don't take that money from the festival.
Yeah, you're right. I think Coachella is also a dream for a lot of artists, right?
Exactly.
It's not a light assignment. It's quite
Exactly.
a big deal. So I definitely see where you're coming from, Rory, and can appreciate your perspective. And I would say I probably agree. Do you want to know something just on Frank Ocean?
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
a quick interesting story about
Go
him. So do you know about like how he finessed? I think it was Def Jam Records.
Yeah.
Did you hear about it?
Yeah, go on.
So basically, he got signed by Def Jam Records, and when he got signed, the deal was for him to make 2 albums. Cool. Channel Orange came out, banging album,
Huge.
genuinely, no skips. I think that was
It's a great album, yeah.
one of the greatest albums from that decade. I
Yeah.
think for R&B.
But you know, Def Jam originally didn't want to release his music because he was very much writing for other artists, and they were like, no, we don't want to like make an album with you. We want to put money into it. So what he did, he made Nostalgia Ultra, which was a mixtape, right, which he uploaded for free, and that popped, right, did so well, and then it made Def Jam notice. They were like, oh shit, maybe we should actually put some money into this guy and let him make an album. Yeah,
Okay.
carry on.
Yeah, there you go. So that happened, and then Def Jam signed him. Cool. The deal was for like a fat bag, 2 albums, and then you get your bag, basically, right? Cool. Release Channel Orange, banging album. He needs to make another album. I think at this point he just realized his strength in the industry and realized that he is one of a kind, special artist. There isn't anyone quite like him, and he was making bangers. So he knew that he could make a hell of a lot more money if he released an album outside of the original agreement, outside of the contract. But you know, it's kind of long to make an album. You can't always get inspired that easily. Takes time. You need life experiences. So guess what he decided to do?
Go on.
I think it was one day. Was it one day? One day before?
So yeah, he released Endless, which was an Apple
the-
Music exclusive, and it was like billed as like a video
The
album.
visual album.
Yeah, the visual album
Of him just building a fucking stairway to heaven.
And there was some songs on there, but they sounded kind of like they were very like demo like. Do you know what I mean? They were nice and they were good to listen to, but kind of like not like they didn't feel like fully made songs, right?
Yeah.
But Apple Music and Def Jam were like, oh, this is great. We're gonna get so many streams from this. We've got him exclusively on Apple Music. This is fantastic. Yeah.
And then he went and dropped
Blonde.
Blonde.
One of the best albums in the last 20 years.
Oh, what an album!
What a fucking
man.
album.
What an album!
Even when I first listened to that, it felt nostalgic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As if I'd always heard it. Do you know
What's
what I
your
mean?
favourite song from Blonde?
White Ferrari, hands
White
down.
Ferrari.
I fucking love that
I
song.
need to look through again because I can't remember all
White
of
Ferrari,
them.
Pink and White,
Pink and White,
Ivy.
Ivy. I think that's my favourite song
Yeah,
from that
yeah.
album. Wait, is Pink and White on Blonde?
Yeah.
Is it
I think
not on?
so.
Is
You're
that not on
thinking of
Channel Orange?
Pink Matter, I think.
That's on. Yeah, you're right.
I think it's Pink and White.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blonde is a fucking incredible album. I still listen to it now. It's still like in my rotation of music I listen to.
White Ferraris.
And it came out 7 years ago.
Nice.
No, okay, no, that's second best. That's the second,
that's-
Jesus. The mid, literally the drop. Oh, it sounds weird. That is literally the exact middle of the song, and that. Oh, it's so good. Both halves of that song are fucking perfection.
Yeah. No, that is.
Every
Wow.
night fucks every day up.
Oh,
Every day patches the night up. Oh, what a banger!
what a banger!
Sarah,
Yeah,
mate, we've. I read this story on Sky News the other day. It made my fucking skin crawl. Right, so listen to this. A pilot in South Africa made an emergency landing after finding a highly venomous cobra hiding under his seat.
Wild.
Rudolf Erasmus alerted his 4 passengers of the stowaway reptile after he felt something cold slide down his lower back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck that. He looked down and he saw a Cape cobra, also known as a yellow cobra, and it was receding under the seat. So the Cape cobra is one of Africa's most dangerous cobra species because of the potency of their venom, and one bite will kill you in 30 minutes. Dude, imagine, right? You're flying a fucking plane with 4 other passengers. This isn't like a big commercial airline, right? You're literally flying it with 4 other passengers, right? And apparently they were, yeah, that was it. They were like 15 minutes away from a town called Welcome, right? So they had to fly for 15 minutes knowing full well they had that cobra underneath his seat. Dude, I would have crashed the plane. No, dude, if I was that pilot, fucking, I would crash the plane, killed the snake, and killed, like, honestly, I couldn't do it.
You need to get these motherfucking snakes off this motherfucking plane.
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
That is actually fucking hell. Can you imagine?
Get Samuel L. Jackson there now.
Yeah.
Flying to Welcome. Oh.
I think it's a new law. Wherever there's a snake-infested country,
Get him there.
Yeah, if a plane is taking off, it needs Samuel L. Jackson on that.
Sort of out.
Yeah. He's the only one who can save us.
I completely forgot about that film. I can't believe that film didn't come to me when I read this story.
Snakes on the plane. What a dumbass film.
Sorry, just on a bit of a sidebar. I was out in Soho about like a year ago with some mates.
Yeah.
And you know, like the main centre bit where all like the theatres and stuff are. And anyway, the bar we were at was also a restaurant, like an Asian restaurant. Dude, guess who gets out the fucking taxi and walks in?
You're not gonna say Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, right? No, sorry, no, I'm making a mistake. Sorry, no, that's not it. I was walking downstairs and I walked past someone. I was like, pretty sure that's fucking Samuel L. Jackson, because I was going to the toilet and he's just come out. And I go in and my mate Jamie's there and he's like, bro, that's fucking Samuel L. Jackson. And I was like, I think it fucking was, right? Anyway, we were having drinks outside. A couple of hours pass, he leaves, right? Dude, when people in Soho saw him, phones were out, people were videoing him like he was in a fucking zoo. It was crazy, and people were like going there. And then one guy literally walks up to it. He's literally just going straight into his taxi, and some people are filming him. Some people are like, Samuel, can I get a photo? And then one guy just goes, the path of the righteous man. I was dead. I was absolutely dead. And then one guy was like, I have had it with these motherfucking snakes. And people were just screaming Samuel L. Jackson quotes. It was brilliant.
Oh my days, mate. What was that verse called again? Leviticus 25:17.
Yeah, well remembered. Fucking hell, so yeah.
The power of the righteous man.
Can I have a bite of this tasty burger? Mate, sorry, yeah, we're going to the sidebar here. But yeah, fuck being that pilot.
Yeah.
Fuck being that passenger. Yeah. Just crash the plane next time. That's what yeah. I've got another crazy story as well. So this is wild. So on November 21st, 2021, Beatrice Flamini set out to accomplish a challenge to live in a cave 230 foot underground for a total of 500 days, right? And she only had 8. Out of the 500 days, she only had 8 interrupted days. And she did this as an experiment to see the effect it would have on the human body to live. Because I saw this headline and I was like, fuck, was some lady like down a cave? Like, I don't know, what like, she must have, like, how did she survive? Do you know what I mean? She did it by choice. What the fuck?
That's wild. So what, did she say any of the effects? Any of them?
I didn't read that far. But yeah, like she
Sure,
was alright. She had a
vitamin
beer
D.
afterwards. She was like, on the photo, she looked happy.
Very vitamin D deficient.
But she must have been pale as fuck.
Yeah.
Probably not as pale as me still.
Yeah. That's hard.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate, like if you were let's say you spent 500 days in a cave, right? And you came out, right? What's the first thing you do? First thing.
Okay, am I
And
with
you
it?
stink, you fucking stink, right? You've not showered, you've not eaten properly, you've not put moisturizer on, you've not seen the sun. Like, what's the first thing you're doing?
The literal first thing?
Like, okay, let's say you come out and they say, what do you want to do? What's the first thing you do?
Shower.
Where? In a hotel?
Yeah.
Perfect. Then what are you going to, like, just shower?
Yeah, so what, like, if it's the first thing I do is shower.
Okay, but then your hair is, like, down to your knees. You're going to get a haircut or you're going to go straight in the shower?
Bro, am I with anyone when I'm underground? I'm just alone.
By yourself.
Hey, I'm shagging.
I thought you were going to say, go see my family.
I'd obviously go
You
see
sick man, Sarav.
obviously I'd go see So I'd assume they'd be there waiting for me.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Wait, 500 days underground, are you mad?
You can wank though.
Come on, man. At that point, your imagination will be limited.
It'd be limited.
You'd be like, ooh, that rock has a nice curvature.
Yo, that rock kind of bad though.
Yo, that silhouette's looking kind of thick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
Okay, so your first steps, you come out the cave, you shag.
Shit, shower,
Not-
shave.
Shit, shower, shave. Nice.
Shit, shower, shave, shag. Sleep.
Bro, I'd not only wash my hair, I'd even condition it.
Do you not?
I don't condition, no, just shampoo.
What?
You don't need to condition your hair.
I condition mine.
Really?
Like, yeah.
I don't know, I always think it makes my hair feel a bit weird.
Yeah,
I
that's,
shall
not,
wash it. I'm not like a
that's
I'm
the
not an
point.
animal.
It does make your hair feel weird. It's like
Nah,
softens it.
It makes it too like sort of shiny, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I'm not a conditioning man.
How often do you shampoo your hair?
Ooh. Do you know what? I used to do it like every other day. I'm a lot less frequent now.
Yeah.
Once a week. Is that bad?
I do it once a week.
Yeah,
as well.
come on.
Yeah, I do.
The
I'm not
greasy
even lying.
boys.
Yeah, trust. I've got. What's your shampoo regime? Because I've actually got one. So I've
Shampoo
got,
regime.
yeah.
I usually so my fucking no, this topic really turned. So my shampoo regime, I've got to wash my hair the morning of a day where I'm not seeing anyone. Because if I wash my hair, I don't know if you might be the same. But if I wash my hair looks dead. It's floppy.
Yeah, it's
thin.
fluffy.
Look shit. I look fat for some reason. I mean, like, yeah, dude. If I wash my hair, I go from a solid 6 to like a 3.
Nah, you're
Honestly.
you're not a 6.
Oh, thanks, Sarah.
Don't be too kind to yourself.
You're a light 7.
Oh,
I'm cracking over bin number 2.
Yeah, trust.
I don't know.
Not because it's good.
It's actually growing on me. You know,
No.
I might have to revise my. My
Nah, you
score.
can't.
No, it is.
The
It
final
is.
score.
Maybe I'm just pissed. I don't
Trust.
know. But no, I'm enjoying it. But yeah, Beatrice Flamini. You know, I dread to think what you smell like when you came out of that cave.
Trust. Ripe. That is nuts.
So our next thing we've got is it's a bit of a recommendation actually.
Okay.
So I went to see a fucking sick film
Mm.
in the weekend, and I really want you guys to watch it. It's called Air.
Okay. Heard about it.
And it's basically about it's directed by Matt Damon, and it's about Nike in 1984.
Mm.
And at the time, Nike had something like a 15% market share, and the top of the market, like with over 50% market share, was Adidas, right? And then second place was Converse, right? And all of the NBA stars were either wearing Adidas or Converses.
No
right?
way.
So the film starts, and you've got Matt Damon. And his job is to go to high school basketball matches, and he basically has to recruit talented basketball players who are most likely going to make it to the NBA. And he basically wants to get them to sign a deal early with Nike, so that when they go on the court, they're wearing Nikes, right? And they're not doing a great job at it, right? And Nike's like going through real financial trouble. And you've got the CEO, which is played by Ben Affleck, Phil Knight. And basically it's the story about how Matt Damon's character, I can't remember his name, but Matt Damon's character is trying to approach Michael Jordan and his family to try and get Michael Jordan to sign with Nike. And basically, Matt Damon goes up to the CEO of Nike, Phil Knight, and he says, listen, I know we've got a budget of $250,000, but I want to put all that money and bet everything on Michael Jordan because I know how talented this player is. And it's basically the story about how Matt Damon's trying to close this deal. And dude, it is such a great film. Honestly, you would love it. It's like 2 hours. You learn stuff. Also, I had no idea that Nike were like dead. Do you know what I mean? They were like the Puma of their time. Do you know what I mean? They were like not.
Oh, don't hate on Puma.
Oh.
I'm joking.
But do you know what I mean? They were not the juggernaut that we know them now to be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
I don't know that either.
It's really good, and it's like it's funny. It's got like good that classic corporate drama. It's got amazing performances by Matt Damon. Matt Damon's looking fat in this film. Like he's kind of overweight. He's got a bit of a double chin. I'm not sure if he's wearing a fat suit or whether he's actually gained a lot of weight for the role. But he was really good. Ben Affleck is like fantastic at directing, and he also plays Phil Knight really well. But yeah, guys, watch Air. It's a fucking great, easy watching, feel good film. Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, man. I'll definitely.
And also, I'm not interested. I've no interest in basketball whatsoever. And I think there's a lot of these films now which are based off like the sort of behind the scenes corporate dealings. Like, you know, The Social Network was about Facebook. There's one about BlackBerry coming out, and there's so many of these films. But I think if they can make probably in real life what was quite a boring story and make it really engaging for 2 hours, then like, yeah, hats off. I think it was a really great film. You should watch it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, it was decent.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So just wrap it up, Rory.
Go on.
I've got a question for you.
Oh.
And I'm gonna be honest.
Is it a would you rather?
Nah.
Go on.
Different type. It is actually a would you rather.
Go on, hit me.
This is a bit off the cuff.
Go on. Have you just thought of this now?
Yeah.
You dirty dog.
Rory, would you rather fight one cow-sized spider
Okay.
or I'm gonna say 50 spider-sized cows?
It really took me a while to visualize that. 50. Oh, that's tough. So one massive fuck off spider.
Yeah.
Is the spider venomous? Or can it just sort of hit you about? Like, is it a daddy long legs? Are we talking tarantula?
It looks like a tarantula, but we'll say it's not poisonous.
So it just smacks you about.
Yeah, but it's like wham! You know how tarantulas have got like them thick legs?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like thick legs.
The thickies.
Yeah.
They're hairy.
Yeah. Can you imagine that's proportion? That'd be like literally the size.
Fuck. But then the little mini cows. Are the cows trying to like eat you? Or like hit you?
Fuck you up.
Fuck you up.
Yeah.
Fuck. How many spider-sized cows?
I'll say 50. I'm actually gonna say I've changed it. I'm gonna change the question to: would you rather fight one cow-sized spider or 100 spider-sized cows?
100 spider-sized cows, and I'll tell you why. Stamp on them. Stamp those bitches out. It's like fighting loads of ants, really, isn't it? You just fucking stamp them on. Whereas like if it's a big fuck off spider, it's gonna deck you. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna pummel me.
I think I'd be petrified of like a big.
Yeah. Also, like I'm more scared of spiders than I am of cows.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going for the cows.
Yeah.
Step on those bitches.
Yeah. Trust. But can you imagine like humanity, like just like the awfulness of just all this like blood and like all the little moos, like the moo. They'll be like because they're tiny.
I'll fuck you up, bitch. Yeah. They're probably little high pitched voices. I'll fuck you up, bitch.
I reckon you could take 100 spider-sized cows. I'd feel bad.
I could take them.
I think I would rather have the courage to fight the spider, the big spider, because I hate spiders.
Just fucking
yeah.
Knock it out. What would be your weapon of choice?
What against this?
Can't be a gun. It has to be like a melee weapon.
Yeah, it'd be like a bat.
A bat.
No.
Bat, baseball bat.
I'll tell you that out.
I'll go a hockey stick.
I'm going for a katana.
Oh yeah, I go katana. Yeah. I'll go 2 katanas.
Yeah. I'm gonna what dual weld.
Yeah,
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 dual
you know how it is. I say that as if I'm proficient enough with samurai swords.
Mate, in that moment, I reckon. Okay, if I had a samurai, I'm taking on the spider-sized cow.
Yeah, if I had a sword, yeah, I completely agree.
Because I reckon you could go one leg at a time.
Yes, if anything, a cow-sized spider is probably the best creature to fight with a katana. Do you know what I mean?
You know what though?
Just
Rory?
chop the legs off and then bam, in
Nah,
the
but
face.
you know how fast spiders move?
Oh, do you reckon?
Imagine huge.
They do move fast, yeah.
That's some serious shit.
Guys, what do you think?
Yeah.
Guys, this has been episode 13.
Episode 13.
I can't believe, how the fuck have we done 13 episodes? It's gone by in a flash. But guys, this has been great. If you like this episode, if you're new here, please remember to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please remember to follow our podcast, leave a 5-star review. Really helps the channel. And if you want to watch us, a bit of short form content, just little clips of us, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok at @lagerthelife_LTL. Yeah. So guys, see you at the next one.
Thanks very much, guys.